Hi friends, today I'm going to show you how to create Azure SQL database. In fact, I have already created a few videos on the creation of the database and how to connect that database from your Visual Studio or SQL Server Management Studio. But the reason why I'm again creating is there are a couple of differences I wanted to just show you, and then later I'll explain you how to deploy that particular database from your Management Studio to Azure SQL, which is on the cloud. Let us get into our today's topic. So in the Microsoft Azure, you can just simply search for Azure SQL. Create Azure SQL resource. I'm just selecting SQL database in case if you need detailed information about all these three options. I have already explained in the video here. You can find out that more information. But here I'm going straight to the point, that is creating the single database. You can even select Elastic Pool and Database Server. Elastic Pool is like in case if you have multiple databases, you can use a pool so that the resources will be shared across all your databases. But I'm anyway going with a single database right now. Create. So the major difference between the earlier video and now is that backup storage redundancy. There was no option to select how your backup storage redundant, whether it should be locally or zone or geo redundant. What it says is that, for example, in case if you want to take a backup storage locally within the same data center, then you can select the local redundant backup storage. But in case if you think that there is a high risk if you take local backup, then you can also choose in the other availability zone, or you can also go to the other region, that is geo redundant. Just to understand a little better on the availability zones under the regions, I'm just showing you this Microsoft link. For example, you have one data center here. There are three availability zones within the data center. If you want to take a backup, that is a locally redundant. If you want to take a backup in the other data center, which is like availability zone, then that is a second option, which is coming here, zone redundant. The third option is here. It is across the geo, like your primary data center or primary region is your South Asia, and the other region can be your European or North American data center or the region. So that's where you can see the risk is low. For example, if there is a disaster occurred here within, or the data center, the whole data center is collapsed, still your backup is in the availability zone. Assume that there is an instance that the whole city is dumped, the second availability zone and third availability is also gone. Then in that case, your backup is still safe in the other region. That's where you will get more secured or safest place if you go with the geo. But it will automatically reflect on your invoices, that is bill as well. So you have to be careful on that. So coming to creating a resource group, let me just quickly create a resource group here. MySQL or SQL sample RG. I'm creating a simple resource group here, and I'm giving my some name for this one, adventure my work or something. Server name can be adventure database server. So if you want to use Elastic Pool, you can use yes, else no. I'm just leaving it to no for time being. Then if you select the Elastic Pool, then you will need to create Elastic Pool again. As I mentioned that in case if you have multiple databases, that's where you will need to use that. So we have filled everything here except this one. I'm just locally creating the backup storage as it costs less compared to the other options. But for real time, based on your project requirement, you can select zone or geo. Let us move to the next step, networking. There is one small difference here too. Earlier there was no TLS version option, and there were some small naming changes also. I think they used to call it as connection method. Now they call it as connection policy. So moving on to the firewall rules, you can also modify these under the firewalls and virtual networks. But what it does is like allow Azure app services or Azure services and resources to the access this layer. Your database has to be protected, but if you want to give access to all your Azure resources, for example, you want to access from your website which is hosted under the Azure app services, or maybe from Azure functions, or maybe some other Azure related services, you can make it as, but this can be modified under the firewalls and virtual network once it is created. Coming to the add private endpoint, it is also another new feature. It was not addressed in my previous video. So this is related to private link. In case if you think that your database connectivity related stuff should not go via public network, and you can definitely utilize this. This will actually enable to utilize the Microsoft Backbone network without exposing your service to the public internet, so that you are more secured. All your services will traverse to this particular endpoint via Microsoft Backbone network. So here I'm not enabling, but in case if you have a requirement, and and definitely there is an additional cost for this in case if you are going to enable the private link. That's one of the another security feature from Microsoft. Coming to the security, Microsoft Defender really helps for the vulnerability assessment. Except my dev QA environments, all the staging production environments always enabled with the Microsoft Defender. It will give reports every day or weekly based on the vulnerabilities it found. I always see a few bugs, and we try to identify and fix those issues whichever are reported by the Microsoft Defender. I just brought a sample screenshot from our one of the environment. You can see this is a sample report which comes via email for the SQL, Azure SQL. A vulnerability assessment scan has completed on your server, and it reports one database scanned, and the total failing checks are 30 passing checks, and high risk, medium and low risk also. So based on that report, if you go to the view results, then it will show what those are, and then based on that the team can decide what need to be immediately fixed or what can be postponed. So that's how the vulnerability assessment will work when you enable the Microsoft Defender. That is the reason I was recommending that feature to enable on the Microsoft Azure SQL. Moving on to the Ledger, this is another new feature from Microsoft on the Azure SQL. It is still under the preview, as you can see here. Ledger cryptographically verifies the integrity of your data. Assume that you are dealing with the type of sensitive data, which can be the financial and medical, and if there is any tampering happened, it is very hard to recognize in the regular modes. But if you enable this Ledger, that will help you to identify any such kind of tampering happened on your data. You can apply especially for the sensitive data where regular auditing happens, so that you can easily identify any tamper happens during any of your internal processes. So it is must for as I mentioned, there are special use cases for this one to utilize. Maybe based on your business requirement, you can enable this Ledger as well. Let us move to the additional settings. Here it is saying whether you want to utilize any backup like restoring, or you want to go with the fresh. I want to go with the fresh by selecting none. You don't need to much worry about the collation for time being. Let us go to the next tags. Tags is like a kind of keywords or what you want to identify the certain resources. I'm just giving SQL Server database. You can even leave this one, but for variety of purposes, like say while in taking the invoice for the certain based on the tax and stuff, also can be utilized this. So for timing, I'm not worried about it. Go ahead and create. Even if you want to download a template for automation, that is very much possible. So there is a validation failed required information. Let us check what is the problem. Under the security, okay, start a free trial. Either we should use not now or start free trial. Under the basics also something is missing. The value must not be empty. Yes or no. but that is not the problem. It looks like we have to create a new server. I think I left that option earlier. I don't have any existing server, SQL server. I need to create one now. Let me create one server. I'm naming it as my Azure SQL server. Probably that's validated as a name. Specified server name is already in use, so adventure, probably that works. Yeah, that worked. So in which location you want to create your database server, that you can create it here. I'm creating it in Southeast Asia, which is closest location. Your subscription does not have access to this server, so let me go with the US to US. Probably that it must be. So usual SQL authentication, or you want to go with AD. For timing, I'm going with the SQL authentication. So I'm creating as an admin maybe SA. So it is giving so simple. Okay, let me create adventure works sample. I created my user ID or admin login and password without wasting time in the video. So create OK. So the database server is created. I think now it must be clean to go ahead with creation. Let us go ahead and create. It's validating. If the validation is passed, it will take maybe a few minutes to create the database. So after validation is paused, automatically it picked to the deployment is in progress. Exactly after 3 minutes of executing these, it completed the whole process and your deployment is complete. You can see all the deployment details here, what all the things are deployed for our Azure SQL. It is Azure SQL Server. It also created our Azure SQL database. So let us go to the resource which we have created. In my next videos, I'm going to show you how to deploy Adventure Works from my SQL Server to Azure SQL, and also I will show you a few important features which are for Azure Administrator, Azure DevOps, and even the Architect. These are the few new features and old features as well, but they are very beautiful features. I'm going to demonstrate in my third video. Thank you. Thanks for watching my videos.